And we're back. I am Unstable, joined here by Lirilian for this next game. It is going to be Slayers Yu-Gi-Oh! Up against NS Hosos Jackji. Game number 3 for the losers match here for Group D of the and it is going to be on Daybreak, actually. So, seeing a lot of Daybreak in this tournament so far. A lot of players choosing to play on this one. Very interesting, but let's get into it. We got Slayers Yu-Gi-Oh! As our red Zerg up here at the top right-hand corner. And we are going to have, of course, NS Hosos Jackji as our blue Terran down the bottom left. Yu-Gi-Oh! Played it pretty much exactly the same style as he did Game 1, Lirilian, but he didn't make that one mistake of going into that third base, so I really think if he can continue to play that style, he should be okay here.
Yeah, he definitely has a really good shot here, but so does Jackji. I mean, you can never count Jackji out, and this is, of course, going to be a map that he picked, I guess. I'm actually not too sure how the map selection works.
Okay. The map selection is the highest seeded player will veto one map, then the next player will veto the next one, so on until there's only 3 maps left. Then the highest seeded player picks the first map. So then the loser picks the next one. So it kind of works down that way. There ends up being 5 choices after vetoes. So you do have that choice. It's not like a forced final map, but you do get the loser choice pick there. So Jackji definitely picked this map as it goes through. So
he is going to choose to open Command Center first on this map, as we've seen him do a few times versus Zerg in this series, especially against Boom Boom. We've seen him do this a few times with not the best success. I think the opening for Jackji would have worked really great against standard Zerg play that, for example, we've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Do a lot. You know, he was playing the standard Zerg versus Terran style, but Boom Boom, he was playing some weird unorthodox style with an early speed and 20 to 30 Zerglings in an early third. And his style, Jackji, he didn't have a lot of success with that, and it felt like he was unsure how to really deal with that certain style of Zerg. But we've seen that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is playing a lot more normal, so maybe the same style that Jackji's been playing against Boom Boom will work out against Yu-Gi-Oh!
yeah, absolutely. But that's the way it happens. Like every single player has their own little individual style, and everyone, like, it's the ones who you always hear about are the ones that are pushing things forward in the metagame. Like you do have those players that follow the latest trends, but usually, I'm not singling anyone out here, but usually the players who do that are the ones who are always really good, but they never actually break out to being great. The great players are the ones who innovate for themselves and figure out new things.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Those innovators are always so much fun to watch. You know, those new players, those new styles, someone being the first player to do that, making it work, and then for other players to adapt to that. That's like the biggest honor you can have in StarCraft, man. When like you are the one who thinks up a build and everyone else copies it or does it. I'd feel very proud, man, if I would have thought up a build. And let's say I see Stardill Squirtle using that build.
Sorry to cut you off here for a second, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Going for the same build opening actually has his Zerglings across the map, but Jackji realized that and actually made his barracks a little bit earlier and didn't go for any kind of add-ons, so he is going to be able to defend that quite quickly. Sorry, there was actually something happening on the screen. I just didn't want to deal with it. So continue.
Something was happening on the screen. I needed to talk.
Yes. So continue.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. So those 6 Zerglings that we've seen out of Yu-Gi-Oh! That he produces them always, it seems like, versus Terran. And it doesn't really matter what he scouts or when he scouts. He just always makes those 6 Zerglings. And on the Ohana, he was actually able to do some damage with them. But I don't feel it was quite worth it this time around. He didn't really do a lot of anything with those 6 links this time around.
Well, we do have Jackji coming around here on the right-hand side trying to get a scout going on. And his Marines on the top of this ramp will be able to defend against anything that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to throw at him anytime soon. But, just looking here...
We do have a third coming down for Yu-Gi-Oh! At a pretty standard timing considering the current metagame. He has 4 queens out on the field. He's going to be grabbing his first gases, and the factory is now just finished up for Jackji in the main base. He's also grabbing a relatively early third barracks here, producing a lot of units and producing Hellions at the same time. Are we going to see Jackji hit that same push that he did against Bung Bung, where he went for 4 reactored Hellions, an early stim on his Marines, and 2 early Medivacs.
It's
I
quite
think that's
possible.
exactly
That's
what
quite
we...
possible. It's a very strong build. But oh, it is about to get scouted. No, it's not. The Marines in the perfect position. Actually going to take out this Overlord too. That is actually going to be quite frustrating for Yu-Gi-Oh to have happen. But he's taking his third at the same time, so he's going to be okay against this. Hasn't started lair just yet, only just now getting his 4th gas. And with this starport finishing up, I think he might actually swap that with the factory to get some medivacs out quite quickly. And this push could be quite dangerous.
That's what he did against Boom Boom as well. I think this is the exact same build with those 4 reacted Hellions. Does he have 4 reacted Hellions or only 2 this time around? No, he does have 4. Yep. 2 of them are sitting at the watchtower. So this is that push that Boom Boom completely destroyed because he went for those early Zerglings and Banelings.
Yeah.
With his weird style. But is Yu-Gi-Oh going to be ready for this? I'm not quite sure. He doesn't have a Baneling nest. His Roach Warren is late. His lair is late. Everything is late.
Well, I wouldn't say late, it's just...
He doesn't even have Zergling speed, oh man.
Actually, yeah, that's very true. He doesn't have Zergling speed yet. Cutting corners turns around to hurt you in the end sometimes, and I think you guys are about to feel exactly that. But Jakji hasn't moved out yet. He is hiding most of his Marine forces in his main. Stim is finishing up now as well, though. But there is Roaches on the field, and that is going to help out significantly. Oh, he's actually lifted them into Medivacs to get them there quicker. Interesting.
It's so cool, man. This build out of Jakji, I can see its potential, but when we first saw this build versus Boom Boom, you and me were both like, wait, what? Because it got shot down so hard, but Jakji showing that this build can definitely be dangerous here. There are about 7 Roaches on the field right now, but 7 Roaches are not going to be able to be enough. And oh, a supply block here. What a bad time to be supply blocked unstable. 6 Overlords on the way as these Marines and Hellions push into here, and these Roaches are not going to be able to combat them right now. And Jakji is going to do some major damage here.
If he targets down this Baneling nest, that'll help him out further as well, because there's only going to be 6 Banelings total. But no, he's actually targeting down the natural hatchery. That is huge. Yeah, and look at that, the Baneling's coming in. Is he going to target them down? He's trying to target them down as best he can, but he did not get it away. Oh, he's not going to get the hatchery either. Is he going to try and target it down? The Medivac's keeping these Marines alive. Cannot, the Roaches can't out DPS those, remember. And he's just going to pick up. Is he going to go drop down at the 3rd base? No, he's just going to sit here. Reinforcements are down here with 2 extra Medivacs here as well, so he might actually come and reinforce himself. But remember, Roach DPS, when there's not a whole heap of them to like 1-shot and 2-shot Marines, doesn't always get out damaged by the heal here, so it's very frustrating for Yu-Gi-Oh! And losing that natural hatchery is absolutely devastating to him right now.
Yeah, we didn't really pay enough attention to that, but that hatch going down is huge. Jakji is in a pretty good position right now, but I don't think he has enough Marines to engage with these Roaches here, or does he? There are 4 Medivacs healing, and he is killing a lot of Roaches. He might snipe down the Queen and then just lift up and get out of there, and that's exactly what he does. Snipes the Queen, it gets out of there, and he can go back home and enjoy his 3rd base that is now up and running. The 3rd base, by the way, in Stable is not a planetary fortress. What do you feel about that? Should he have gotten a planetary fortress after killing that natural of Zerg, after being ahead?
Well, he traded quite well. Trading Marines for Roaches down at the 3rd is actually quite good for him. Like, looking at the resources left tab, 1700, 230, 350. And he is still going to have these Medivacs around, flying around. He's actually going to... Oh, almost gets that Overseer, 7 HP left. And normally you really only see a planetary down at this 4th base in the middle, because it's like right in the firing line, but that 3rd base is quite defendable from this little choke point in between this natural and the 3rd. However, these guys are still on the same supply right now. Yu-Gi-Oh! is only just now hitting 70 drones, but he's mainly in Roach. Roaches. Oh, he's actually going to lose quite a few Zerglings here in the middle as well. And up at this 3rd. He does see that the 3rd is there, but he loses all of these Zerglings. And he's actually going to get caught again, coming up into the main. That's quite frustrating for Yu-Gi-Oh!
These Zergling run-bys aren't doing much for Yu-Gi-Oh! He's getting 1 and maybe 2 SCVs here in a natural. Yeah, it does get 2 SCVs. So 4 Zerglings for 2 SCVs. That was a cost-effective trade, but the rest of the Zergling run-bys not really doing too much. We still have this Medivac here for Jakji sitting in the middle of the map, keeping an eye on what the Roaches are doing. There's no anti-air on the field just yet, but Infestors should be on the production tab in a second because Passage and Glens has, is close to finishing, and there are the first infestors. 4 of them going to be in production, but the infestors are not yet out, and Jaggi is once again hitting a nice timing here. He might be able to get in position at the third base before those infestors are out.
Yeah, absolutely. He's cleaning up a lot of this creep, and those infestors are on the way. Like you were saying, I'm trying to find the infestation bit. There it is. Yeah, he does have Passage and Glens. And oh, the tanks at the front! Almost, I really feel he should have committed those Zerglings and taking out those tanks.
He doesn't have siege tech. He now realizes, oh damn, I do not have siege tech, and Jaggi's like, never mind, I'll go back home.
Oh my, I didn't even know. I just expected that I missed it on the production tab when I was glancing up there, because it is a fairly fast research time.
It is. Wow, that could have turned out really bad for Jaggi. That could have been exactly what Yu-Gi-Oh needed to get back into this, but no. Luckily, Jaggi realizes in time, and he can still go ahead and retreat. He only lost like a few Marines there, so not too bad. And Siege Tech is now about to finish up, so he will be able to defend in case Yu-Gi-Oh wants to go ahead and attack him in a bit.
Yep, absolutely. We do see a double drop going into the main now. There is one Zergling sitting there. Hive is about 50% of the way through, but the army for Yu-Gi-Oh is out of position. He does just notice those drops coming, the Medivacs coming through, and his entire army is actually being pulled for that. And a lot of the times you see that kind of reaction be devastating to a Zerg player.
Yeah, it's good, but Jaggi is not going to be capitalizing on it this time around. He's focusing all his attention on microing this drop, and the drop is not going to get away. That last 4 Medivac or poor Marines, they get taken out, and Jaggi now going to be moving out a little bit late maybe. I think Yu-Gi-Oh will have enough time to get in position to defend right now. His creep spread is starting to look really good as well. Currently in the middle of the map as he takes a 4th base, but that 4th base is not going to be living quite long unstable. These Marines have something to say about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Jaggi moving out here as well now with siege mode this time. Of course, he does see this creep at the bottom of the ramp. He's going to be very careful not to move out too far because he does realize that all these units are down here. The Roaches are going to make it frustrating for this unit composition for Jaggi, but remember there's no Banelings here in this unit composition either. It's just the Roaches and the Infestors. If there was a few Banelings in there, it would be really difficult for him to deal with, but Banelings speed only just started now.
Yeah, you make a really good point there, Unstable, about the Banelings, and it seemed like Yu-Gi-Oh was thinking the same thing at the exact same time, like, oh, some Banelings would be nice right now, and he started Baneling speed just as you were mentioning that Banelings would be good to have here. So Yu-Gi-Oh is gonna, what is he gonna do? He's positioning his entire army near his 3rd. Of course, the 4th base had to be cancelled. There are siege tanks in wonderful positions here. And what is Yu-Gi-Oh waiting for right now? Is he waiting for some upgrade? No. Is he waiting for any tech? No, he is not. He is just waiting for a good time to engage, I guess, waiting for those siege tanks to be in a bad position, and that's when he's gonna go for it.
Yeah, I really feel the longer he waits, the worse off he's going to be, but those Banelings are on the way now, of course. He could be waiting for Baneling speed, which is certainly a smart thing to do at this point. There's 2 Marines. Oh, look at this. There's actually an Infestor coming out by himself. Is he going to go under the tanks to drop some Infested Terrans? Oh, nice Fungal on a whole heap of those Marines, actually. Does kill quite a few of them, and these tanks are moving ever so further forward. And here we go, the Infestor coming in from behind. Baneling speed is going to finish in about 5 seconds. And that is when we're going to go. We do see him moving here. Baneling speed is done.
What's happening with the army? Look at that. There's like a few Banelings in the back. They cannot finish morphing for some reason. Do you see that?
Oh, that's actually kind of cool. There we go. They instantly morph, and here he goes. We do see a scan going down. There's actually Roaches coming in from behind. Fungals everywhere. Is it going to be enough to go through this? I don't think it is. There's way too many tanks. More Infested Terrans being dropped. The Roaches are still there. 72 Zerglings in production right now. He's taken out most of these tanks, but the Medivac's keeping all these Marines alive. He really needs those Zerglings right now. They're only about halfway through. He might actually lose this hatchery before those Zerglings get out. He's forced to pull the drones, and this looks like it might be the end for Yu-Gi-Oh because he just can't get those Zerglings out in time. They're all coming out a trickle at a time. There we go. They're all up there now, but the reinforcements for Jaggi are just here already. And oh my god, the Overlords.
Oh, the Overlords are going to die as well. The hatchery falls, and with that, we might be getting ready to go into a rematch because Jagchi is about to take this game, and I don't see this working out for Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Losing that third base, he does not have the economy. Jagchi has 4 bases. He has 2 bases over his opponent, and here comes the last desperation attempt out of Yu-Gi-Oh. He's trying to roll these Banelings in here, but he doesn't have the Infestor support or any kind of Muta support. He needs support with this. Pure Ling Baneling is just not going to work out, and even though he might clean up Jagchi here, he still does not have a third base. He's repositioning that one right now. And Jagchi, man, I think he's gonna go and duke it out with Boom Boom to see who is gonna be advancing to the round of 32. GG.
Absolutely. GG coming out here from Yu-Gi-Oh! Congratulations to Jagchi. We'll make it through to the final game here for Group D up against Pong Pong Prime, who knocked him down into the to the losers match anyway. So let's get straight into it. Without further ado, let's see if Jagchi can get his revenge on Pong Pong in about 2 minutes after our quick commercial break.